Hi everybody and welcome to HeroQuest. Once again, we will follow Ayra the Barbarian into the cold and icy Northlands. In this second quest, she will have to find a way through Xanon Pass. Ayra is a member of a group of heroes called Dawnbringers, and they are determined to find and end the frozen horror. But right now, Ayra is alone. Her companion, the wolf Snowdasher, is no longer with her. In her last quest, she found the armband of ice that will protect her against freeze and ice damage. That's very useful. She also has leather bracers and she has bought a shield for the gold she also found. She's equipped with a longsword and she still has a couple of healing potions. All in all, she will roll 3 attack dice and 4 defense dice. So let's begin the quest. Ayra is in a corridor, and in front of her a large rock will block the way. So she will have to move left or right. To the right there is a door, and to the left a corridor and a corner. First she will search for secret doors and also traps, but there is nothing. And then she will decide to move to the left and to the corner of the corridor here. That will end her turn. A new corridor is visible and she will move down that corridor. When there are no monsters visible, we'll use the unthreatened movement rule of 8. She will also search this corridor for secret doors and traps, and there is nothing, but she can see a large rock. So the only way to go is down a larger corridor. She will also search this corridor and there is nothing here. Carefully, she will start a new turn and move down the large corridor. Another rock will block the way, and a wall maybe to a room. So far, it's only corridors. But she can peek around the corner, and nothing. That will end her turn here at the corner of the next corridor. She will search. And again, no secret doors or no traps. So she will begin another turn and she will just step around the corner, and then out of nowhere, 2 skeletons will block the way. She's trapped. Before she can do anything, both skeletons will attack her with 2 attack dice. The first skeleton will miss both attacks. The next skeleton in front of her will swing his weapon and also hit nothing. Let's take a look at the skeletons. They will attack with 2 dice, defend with 2 dice, and they have 1 body point. Not the worst enemies, but there are 2 of them and she can't move. So let's see if she can remove any of them. 3 attack dice and she will hit with 1 of her attacks. The skeleton will not defend the longsword, so 1 point of damage, and that will destroy the first skeleton. Ayra could move away and try to outrun the skeleton, but she is a barbarian and she will turn around and face the second skeleton. And the skeleton will attack and this time hit twice. Ayra will roll 4 defense dice and she will roll 1, 2 shields. Yes, she will block the damage. No hits. And then she can fight back. Again, 3 attack dice with her longsword. 2 hits this time. That will be a challenge for the skeleton, and as expected, they are not that capable. The skeletons are defeated. Ayra can turn around again and she can begin a fresh turn. She was careful, but apparently not careful enough. So before she moves, she will once again check this corridor for any kind of traps or secret doors, and none are found. So she will reveal 2 doors down this small corridor, and the quest here is to get out, find a wooden door and leave Xanon Pass. But on the other hand, she could investigate a little, and who knows, maybe this is the way out. So she will end her turn and begin a new one in front of the door. And with that turn, she will open the door, and that will reveal a room with a table and nothing more. Instead, she will move to the other door and open that one. And inside, we have 2 orcs. They roll 3 attack dice. They have 8 movement squares, 2 defense dice, but only 1 body point. She still has movement left, and she charges the orcs. Of course, Ayra can attack only one of them, and she will hit with one of her attacks. And the orc will roll 2 defense dice and fail them both. And with only 1 body point, that will eliminate 1 orc. A very effective and surprising attack. Ayra is doing good right now. I should mention that all the enemies in Xanon Pass are controlled by the HeroQuest app, and the app tells me that the orc here will move in front of Ayra and then attack. And there are 2 hits this time. I will roll the attack dice and defense dice of the enemy instead of the app. That's more visible on the screen here. And Ayra will block only 1 of the incoming orc hits, so she will take 1 body point of damage. She has 8 body points, so just a scratch. Ayra is equipped with both a broadsword and a longsword, and the longsword can attack diagonally, but they both do 3 attack dice of damage. And 3 attack dice are fine. She will hit twice, and the orc will go down. The room is cleared. And with no enemies around, Ayra can search the room. No secret doors or traps, but she can draw a treasure card. Only rooms can be searched for treasure. So she'll have to try her luck here with the treasure deck. So let's mix the cards and pick a random treasure. She could draw a wandering monster as well, but let's hope it's something good. And it's a potion of healing. Not bad. She has a couple of these already, but they will come in handy, I guess, later. So with that out of the way, she will end her turn in front of the door. And with a fresh turn, she will open the door, and that reveals a small room with another exit door and a mummy. And that's a powerful enemy. A mummy will roll 3 attack dice and 4 defense dice and 2 body points, but they are slow. No need to roll for movement. She only needs to move 2 spaces and then she's in front of the mummy. She will once again charge without fear. So far, this is the toughest opponent. Let's see what Ayra can do. Only 1 hit. I doubt that's enough with 4 defense dice, but ooh. What a roll. Really bad defense roll, but a menacing attack roll. Luckily, it was a defense roll, so the mummy will not defend the hit and will take 1 damage. But now, of course, the mummy will strike back. And the return strike will hit twice. Ayra will once again roll her 4 defense dice. And she will again roll enough shields to block all the damage. Now she must try to eliminate the mummy. A great attack roll will do it, come on. Oh, and no hits at all. That will definitely not defeat the mummy. Instead, of course, the mummy will hit again with 1 strike against Ayra, and she will make it easily. She is really tough on defense, but what now? Only 1 hit again. This could be a long battle. But again, the mummy rolls a lot of skulls and no good shields. So 1 more point of damage, that's enough to destroy the mummy. And Ayra can search the room, and there are no secret doors, but there is a floor tile looking suspicious. That could be a trap, but she is able to avoid the trap if she wants to. She also searches the room for treasure, and she will now draw a treasure card, and she finds gold. Not bad. She'll add the gold to her adventure sheet, and then it's time to move on. She will carefully walk around the trap floor tile and position herself in front of the door, end her turn there. And with a fresh turn, she will open the door. Apparently, there is an empty room. Well, there is a bookshelf, but nothing else. No enemies, monsters, or anything. So she will carefully step into the room, and again, she will search for secret doors and traps. There is a door on the opposite side of the room, And again here, she will find floor tiles, very suspicious looking, and they will block the way in front of her. So no secret doors, but a couple of traps. Once again, she will search for treasure, and she will draw a treasure card. She will find a clear liquid that if she drinks it will give her 2 extra defend dice. Again, a useful find. But she cannot move past the traps. Instead, she will trace her way all the way back to the corridor and into the room with the table. And she will try the other way here. There seems to be a lot of traps in this part of the dungeon, so she will search for traps and secret doors, and there is nothing. Again, she will try to search for treasure. It's a bit of a risk now. She can draw a wandering monster, but let's see. She might be lucky again. So let's shuffle the cards and pick one. Treasure here, and it's jewels this time, worth 50 gold coins. Lucky again. With that out of the way, there is only one door. So she will end her turn in front of the door, and then in her next turn, let's see what's behind. And that reveals a room with a awful monster, a Yeti. She has fought one of these monsters before. 5 body points and 3 attack and defense dice. And it's also pretty fast, so she might not be able to run away from it. But she will again charge. Let's roll some attack dice. Come on, Ayra. And that's a pretty good roll. 2 hits. The Yeti has 3 defense dice and will defend absolutely nothing. So there will be 2 hits. 2 lost body points out of the 5 the Yeti has. But now it's the Yeti on attack, and that is always dangerous because of the Yeti hug. If you haven't watched Ayra's first quest into the Northlands with Snowdasher, go watch that episode where they encounter a Yeti. Now, so far, Ayra can defend the Yeti's damage, and she can attack once again with 1 good strike. And the Yeti, unfortunately, will block the damage, so there will be no damage this time. The Yeti then hits again, and 2 good hits. Now Ayra really has to roll good defense dice, and she is able to do that. She is very effective in her defense, but she has bracers and shield and all that, so no wonder. But what about attack? 2 hits. She will swing her long sword and strike the Yeti twice. And there are no defense dice. The Yeti will take 2 body points of damage. That is not enough to kill it, but it's so close now. Ayra could possibly take the Yeti out in her next attack, but she will have to face the Yeti's attack first, and there is 1 hit. But with Ayra's defense, I doubt that will scratch her. No, she will roll 1 good shield and block the damage. Come on, Ayra, let's do this. And, oh yes, 3 hits. The Yeti is in trouble now. It will have to roll 3 black shields, and of course, yeah, the Yeti is not able to block the powerful strike, and it will be killed. That was the hardest battle so far, but Ayra did it. Now she can search the room. And in this room there are no secret doors or traps, but there is a possible treasure. Let's shuffle the treasure cards and see if Ayra can continue with her luck. And it's a potion of strength. That will give her 2 extra attack dice if she drinks it. Great. Now it's time to move on. Just to check, she will open the door here, and yeah, as expected, behind the door is the room with the traps and the bookshelf. She will have to go all the way back to the corridor now. That was not the right way out of Xanon Pass, so Ayra will continue down this corridor. That's her only option now. So walking down the corridor, she will reveal a door here at the end of the corridor. And also a rock that will block the way. The only way forward is the door. So she will finish her turn and then open the door. And behind the door is a room with another door and a crossbowman in the corner. He aims his crossbow at Ayra. He is hostile. She'll have to roll for movement dice. 10 movement, that's good. So let's get into this room and finish this crossbowman. But just as Ayra enters the room, she will almost slip on the icy surface. According to the app, Ayra has to roll a die, and it says skull, and, well, nothing happens. So she can continue her movement and reach the crossbowman. And she can, of course, attack him. Ooh, and maybe it's the slippery surface, but she will hit absolutely nothing. The crossbowman will fight back, but he will also fail all his attacks. So another round of combat, and this time Ayra will hit twice. The crossbowman has 3 defend dice, and he will not defend any of the hits. That will draw 2 body points from him, and that should be enough to defeat him. The crossbowman will beg for mercy and give the crossbow to Ayra, so now she has a new weapon. And while she is looking at her crossbow, the crossbowman disappears. Ayra searches the room, and it will reveal no traps or secret doors, but she will draw a treasure. And again, she's lucky. She finds 25 gold coins. But the most important thing here was the crossbow. Now she can attack her enemies from the distance. That's great. Ayra will end her turn, and then she will open the only available door and step into a wide corridor. To her right, a rock is blocking the way. She has 2 options. She can go north and turn right, or she can go to the south and turn left, and that will be her choice. So she will look into a very long and narrow corridor. She'll end her movement and search for traps or secret doors. There's nothing. So she'll have to continue with all her movement. And just as she ends her movement, she can see an ice gremlin around the corner. And she has also encountered these nasty enemies before. They roll 3 defense dice and they have 3 body points. And she's out of movement, so the gremlin will attack her and hit once. Can Ayra defend this attack? No, she will roll 4 skulls. It's a great attack roll, but useless in defense. She'll take 1 damage. These ice gremlins are just as nasty as she remembers. Ooh, but now revenge is coming. 3 more skulls. The gremlin must block at least 1 of those attacks, and he cannot do that. He'll take 3 body points of damage. He is done. With the gremlin eliminated, Ayra can turn around the corner and continue her movement down the corridor. And that will take her to here. End her turn and take 1 more step to reveal what's down the corridor. And there is a door. So she can continue or she can check out the door. There is also a rock behind the door. So that's the only 2 options. But before she can think, 2 skeletons will jump out and attack her. And one of them will immediately hit. She'll block the damage. But what about the second skeleton? No hits. So another skeleton trap. And we have encountered skeletons before. They are weak, but there are 2 of them, and Ayra is more or less surrounded. So she'll strike the skeleton behind her first, and she will fail all her attacks. So that means both skeletons will get free attacks, and there is no need to defend this one. He didn't hit anything, but the other one will have 1 hit. So Ayra will defend. And she will fail all her defense rolls. Only skulls. She will take another body point of damage. She's down to 5 body points now. Let's get those skeletons out of the way. And there are 2 skulls. That should be enough to destroy the skeleton. Yes, so 1 skeleton is eliminated. The other one is still around. So an incoming attack with 1 hit. Let's see if Ayra can roll some shields this time. Well, 1, and that is enough. She will avoid the damage. And then she will, in the next turn, attack the skeleton. And we have 1 hit. That could be enough. And it is. The skeleton will not block the damage, and 1 hit is enough to destroy the weak skeleton. So Ayra will catch her breath and search the corridor. There is nothing. And then she will move and end her movement in front of the door. Before she opens the door, she will drink one of her healing potions. So she will roll 1 die, and let's see how many body points. Oh, only 1. That was more or less a waste. Only 1 body point recovered. Ayra slams open the door and reveals a room with another exit door and nothing else. That looks a bit suspicious, so Ayra will carefully step into the room and then she will search. Her search reveals that there is a suspicious looking crack in the wall in the left side of the room, and also no less than 3 floor tiles that look suspicious. And finally, when she searches for treasure, she can draw a treasure card. She is able to get past the floor tiles with the traps, but first let's deal with the treasure. Ayra will find 15 gold coins, and this is how the room looks. There is apparently an exit besides the door, and of course she'll have to take care of the traps. So she'll carefully move around the traps and try the secret door in the corner of the room. And before she goes through the door, she'll end her turn. Behind the door is another room with a weapon rack and a polar bear. A very powerful enemy. Ayra's movement is 7. But she can attack the polar bear from the distance with her crossbow. The crossbow will roll 3 attack dice and she will fire it and hit twice. The polar bear is a powerful opponent. It will roll 3 defense dice and it will have 6 body points, but it will have 2 attacks with 4 attack dice each. First, let's see if the polar bear can defend, and it can't. So Ayra will shoot it with the crossbow and do 2 damage. And then Ayra will, run away. Out of reach of the polar bear. That's a clever tactic because she can fire at the polar bear with the crossbow. The app moves the bear, and Ayra once again rolls for movement. She has to roll high to outrun the bear. First, she'll shoot. 1 crossbow bolt will hit the bear. And the bear will roll for defense, and there is 1 black shield here, so it will take no damage. And then Ayra will continue her escape away from the polar bear down the corridor, and the app will control the bear. The bear cannot reach her, so she'll have to roll for movement again, and this time with only a movement of 3, she's not able to outrun the bear anymore. She will have to face the attacks, but she can of course shoot it first. And before shooting, she will drink her potion of strength. That will give her 2 extra attack dice for a total of 5. 3 hits. Definitely worth it. Let's see how many of these hits the polar bear can defend, and 2 black shields. Really, really bad. Instead of 2 or maybe 3 damage, the polar bear will only lose 1 body point. What's even worse, now the polar bear can reach Ayra and attack her twice, and according to the app, Ayra must decide which one of these attacks she will defend. First, there is 1 hit. She will pass that attack, and the second attack will give 3 hits, so that's of course the one she'll try to defend. Her 4 defense dice only give 1 good shield, so she'll block 1 damage and still take 2 from the second attack and 1 from the first attack. That's a total of 3 body points. She will not be able to survive many of those attacks. So she'll roll 7, and that should be just enough to get out of the reach of the polar bear. She'll attack first before she moves, of course, so let's just roll the attack dice here. and she will strike the bear twice. One of them will be blocked, so 1 more damage to the bear. The app will control the bear, and of course it will chase Ayra down the corridor. But it cannot reach her, and Ayra can once again fire her crossbow and hit with 1 bolt. Again, she's not able to penetrate the fur and skin of the polar bear. And again, Ayra will roll for movement. That's enough to continue her escape around the corner. As soon as she can see the bear, she will again fire the crossbow, hit once. No defense this time. 1 more lost body point. The chase will continue down the corridor, and Ayra continues to roll high. With her movement dice, she can once again try and shot before she moves, and she'll hit twice. If the polar bear will fail all defense rolls, it will be enough to kill it. And yes, there it is. No defense dice. The polar bear will be shot again with the crossbow and go down. That was tough. Ayra would not have survived this battle without the crossbow. She'll go back to the room with the weapon rack and search for secret doors and traps, and there is nothing. But when she searches for treasure, the weapon rack will reveal a weapon. It's a long sword. She already has one, but maybe she can sell it. It's worth quite a lot of gold. Ayra has lost 5 body points. She decides to drink another potion of healing. This time she'll heal 3. Back in the room with the traps, she prepares herself to open the door. And behind the door is a room with an abomination. Another fight. Ayra really hasn't found too many huge treasures yet. She has fought several big monsters. She is alive, but she's wounded. Now she's at it again against the abomination. 1 hit, and the abomination will not defend. So that's 1 damage out of the 2 body points the abomination has. And then, of course, the abomination will move forward and attack Ayra with 3 attack dice. 2 hit skulls, potentially 2 damage. Ayra rolls for defense, and that's a symphony of good shields. She will block the attack. And then she will, of course, try to eliminate the abomination once and for all. And that did not go well. She is tired now, I guess, after a long trip through Xanon Pass. The abomination strikes again. 2 hits. And the defense roll, yes, 2 shields again. Ayra will once again avoid any damage. Another barbarian attack, and awful. No hits at all. This fight is way longer than it was supposed to be. And suddenly the app decides to move the abomination back into the corner of the room. I can't tell you why, but that's what he does. So Ayra must roll for movement, and I'll assume she cannot fire through the door and into the room and hit the abomination with the crossbow. So she will move into the room. Luckily, she will not step on a trap, and then she will fire her crossbow. And she is apparently way more effective with the crossbow than with the sword. And that's it. She will shoot the abomination with her crossbow bolts. And now it's time for a search. There are no secret doors or traps, but there is a treasure inside this room, and it's a shield. Ayra will grab the shield and leave the same way as she got into the room, and that takes her down, back into the only possible way, the corridor. And she will walk all the way down the corridor to the last square and peek around the corner where she can see 2 things, an ice gremlin and a wooden door. That must be the exit. Finally, Ayra has found her way out, but an ice gremlin is in the way, and the gremlin will charge against Ayra and attack with 2 attack dice and no hits. Instead, Ayra will lift her longsword, hopefully for the last time, and make a powerful strike against the ice gremlin, and that is certainly a strike to talk about. 3 skulls, 3 hits, and the ice gremlin will defend none of them. He is splattered up the wall with a powerful hit. With the ice gremlin away, the passage to freedom is clear, or so Ayra thought. She will step on a trap and lose 1 body point. Yeah, maybe it's over now. She will finally make it all the way through the wooden door, and that is the exit of Xanon Pass. Ayra has completed this quest, but she's not finished yet. Her adventures will continue. Thanks a lot for watching this HeroQuest playthrough. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll join me for future videos.